Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Well, you know what? I think we've kind of grooved into our second hour after getting here early this morning and having to break into the building because I don't have a key card. And it's a good thing I keep a tool box in the Ford Nifty 150. Justin, did you check and see if they put the door back on downstairs yet? All right, good. Yeah, I took the door off the hinges to get in the place this morning. Next time, you guys, give me a key card, all right? It'll be easier for all of us. It's Ray Stevens in for Dan and Amy. You know, my next guest knows about all the nuts and bolts of the economy, and you can see this guy all over TV, capitalistpig.com. He knows a lot about money. He knows a lot about the markets, and he knows a lot about dogs. We're going to talk about that in a second. He's got a great new book. Jonathan Hoenig, sir, welcome to WIND.
Oh, Ray, great to be with you. Good morning. And, look, after years of talking with Dan and Amy and you on stations all over the country about how terrible and tough the economy has been, I'm happy we actually have a little something to celebrate here at the end of 2023. A great year for stocks and a much better outlook for inflation in the weeks and months ahead.
They call this the Santa Claus rally. And yesterday there were some saying that there were signs that the rally was showing fatigue. What does that mean? Does that mean we're ready to see a little bit of a leveling off as we enter the new year?
Go to the sky. And, the S&P, the market rate, it's been up for 9 straight weeks. This is the best run since 2004. It's up almost 13% just since November 1st. And, Ray, some of the this year, it's really been all about high tech. We've all seen the Chat GPT and seen kind of exactly how incredible this technology is. That's pushed some stocks, particularly technology, up even more. I mean, the Nasdaq's up 44% just this year, Ray. Now, keep in mind it got annihilated in 2023, but that's been the real big story, and it's one of the reasons why all eyes are going to be on Apple this morning. In particular, Apple has that new line of smartwatches, the Apple Watch, and basically it was all pulled from the shelves in recent days because of a patent ruling from overseas. Well, it turns out now the Biden administration has overruled that, at least temporarily, so Apple will be able to continue to sell that new smartphone, that new smartwatch, I should say, not getting pulled from shelves after all, and certainly going to do a lot to assuage the fear that, as you said, maybe the rally is over. The fact that Apple continued to sell the watch, it's a good news for stocks overall.
I know that we, you look at your personal finances, and you yourself just said it. In 23, they took a hit. I know I've got a ways to go before it gets back up to that precipice of where it was. But we live in a world where we're being sold, electric vehicles. Electric's the way to go. Get rid of your combustion cars, although nobody's buying these cars right now. I think the average wait time, at least in and around Chicago, is 190 days that an EV sits on a dealership lot. But one of the stories you have this year is about a car manufacturer that not a lot of people know of. They had a car that was up for, I believe, Auto of the Year at the beginning of the year, and that's Lordstown Motors. But now they've gone kaput, haven't they?
They have. I mean, it's another one of those names, Ray. And ironically, 2023 was a terrible name for most EV makers, as you said. And the winds have shifted a little bit. It used to be the combustion cars that were sitting on dealer lots and the EVs that were going very quickly. Well, for most of 23, as you said, it's been the EVs that are sitting for extended periods on dealer lots and the normal combustion engines that are going much quickly. So this has been a real winnowing of the year of all these EV companies. There was certainly a mad dash, and Lordstown is just one of those. I mean, it looked like not just Tesla might be the sole survivor in terms of the pure play EVs, Ray, but keep in mind every car company really is an EV player now. Most of the car manufacturers, the majority of their cars are electric vehicles. So, that premium that EV car manufacturers once had, you have to get an EV from Tesla, from Lordstown, et cetera. That's gone away as most cars now, especially coming into 2024, 2025 model year, most likely you'll be driving an EV whether you like it or not.
I'll never drive an EV. I'll go back to a horse. No, I'll tell you, I've got kind of this reputation. I've been in this town a long time, and people know that I like to drive. I mean, I've had usually I drive a pickup truck. I've driven diesel trucks because I pull some big stuff from time to time. I like having a pickup. Now I'm just driving a little F-150. But the other day, I go to my Ford dealer, and they're like, "Why don't you take this Mach-E for a drive and see if you like it?" And I got in the car, and it was people get pissed off because they call it a Mustang. Whatever. You got to get over it. But I got to tell you, I liked it. It was quick. It was built nice. The only thing is Jonathan, I got in this thing, and on a full charge, it was 244 miles to, do you say empty or uncharged or whatever? I mean, you got to get that battery technology to come along before you'll ever get a guy like me to buy in, and I think I'm the guy you just talked about. I'll have to drive an EV whether I like it or not.
Yeah, Ram, look, the technology will continue to improve. I think what's so frustrating is, not only is it simply more expensive, but also, Bastiat, the economist, always talked about what is seen and what is unseen in the economy. And, we're seeing the car move by electric power, but what we're not seeing, for example, is the environmental impact of the batteries, the battery disposal, and, of course, just the electricity itself. People forget, where does the majority of the electricity come from that powers our EV cars? Most likely coal. These have been Teslas have been referred to as coal power cars. But the environmental movement is so strong in this country, particularly with the Biden administration. So a lot of the subsidies and benefits that have befelled EV players and EV car manufacturers are likely to continue, of course, at all of our expense.
I wonder if we're just one administration away from not having this jammed down our throats any longer. But I tell you, I was on the Eisenhower Expressway at Harlem the other day, sitting in horrible, traffic, and there was a Mustang in front of me, and I know that it was burning like a Sunoco 116 octane race fuel, and I just enjoy that smell. And I rue the day that goes away. That would be very sad. One more story for you, Jonathan, but before we talk about your book. I know a lot of states, as we get ready to delve into the new year, are talking about minimum wage increases. Talk about Pizza Hut and what's going on with their 1,200 delivery drivers.
Yeah, they're getting laid off. And this is the same thing, Ray. I mean, that is seen and that is unseen. And probably best example is minimum wage. Minimum wage is going up all around the country come January 1st, including here in Illinois. In fact, minimum wage is increasing from $13 an hour to $14 an hour. 22 states are going to increase the minimum wage. And, we all see everyone making an extra dollar, an extra $2 an hour. In fact, in California, minimum wage is rising, get this, from $16 an hour to $20 an hour.
Oh.
And as a result, you've got a major Pizza Hut franchisee already saying they're going to be laying off 1,200 delivery drivers. And that's not just it, Ray. I mean, other franchisees and other stores are always already talking about raising fees. Another franchisee, a Pizza Hut franchisee, says that he or she's going to start charging an 8.5% service charge to the bill simply because of that higher increase in minimum wage. So, as Milton Friedman famously said, there is no such thing as a free lunch. So look for higher service charges and most likely less available service once this minimum wage law hits come January 1st.
This signal, IND, goes in such great direction all over the city. I know right now there's somebody on the south side of Chicago saying, I ain't never driving an electric car and I'm never eating at a Pizza Hut. It'll never happen. Jonathan Hoenig is our guest. Jonathan, tell me about your new book.
Sure. Well, look, I love money, Ray, but I might love dogs even more, dogs and pets. And there's always been this really interesting philosophical question. Everyone says that they love their dog, they love their pet, but do you love your dog really like the same way you'd love your spouse or, you'd love your children? So the new book is called Can You Really Love a Dog? Leonard Peikoff and Ayn Rand on Pets delves into exactly that, the real philosophical nuts and bolts a relationship between you and your animal, why it's so strong, how to best enjoy your pet when they're living, and how to most effectively mourn them when, of course, they eventually pass away. So Can You Really Love a Dog? Jonathan Hoenig is the editor. It's on Amazon. And Ray, as I said, I've got your copy coming in the mail, your media copy. I'm happy to share with you and share with the world as well.
Can you really love a dog? Find it on Amazon. Jonathan Hoenig, always great to talk to you. I'll talk to you again probably, who knows, L.A., Kansas City, maybe Louisiana, but I'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Well, Ray, you are all over the country. We're so happy to have you, and Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year to all of our listeners.
Happy New Year to you, my friend. Jonathan Hoenig here on WIND. Can you really love a dog? I'll tell you about the nonsense that's going on in my house right now. You won't believe it, and you might say, Ray, it's time for you to get 6:19 at WIND, AM 560, Chicago's Morning Answer.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kathy Lee Gifford, and I've been around a long time. Every one of us, as we age, realizes that things are changing in our bodies, in the world around us. Lots of times I don't like what's happening, so what can I do about it? Well, the one thing we can do is pray, right? The other thing we can do is take better care of ourselves. I do that by taking Balance of Nature because I'm not really good at nutrition. I'm too busy, I'm on the run, and I don't eat enough vegetables, and I certainly don't eat enough fruit. And when I take Balance of Nature, I can feel good that I've done something for myself that I can actually control. So take control. Get Balance of Nature.
Celebrate Christmas with us. Go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first order, plus a free fiber and spice supplement. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this exclusive holiday offer by using discount code KLG.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt